Hey guys, and welcome to another video here on G Can't Play, channel where we test out different crap strategies, see if it's something that you would like to play, see if they're any good or not, and maybe have a little bit of fun along the way. Today we are going to do another dark side strategy and another Martingale strategy. So I did Martingale, 3 times Martingale the field. And what we're going to do now is we are going to 3 times Martingale another area that has slightly better odds, and that is the don't pass. So if you're not aware of what Martingale is, the way it works is, let's just say I put $10 on the don't pass. If that was to lose, you would then double it $20. If that was to lose, you go to $40, $80, so on and so forth. What we're going to do though is we're going to do 3 times Martingale, which means you make a little bit more profit as you go up the scale. So we'll start with 10, we'll go to 20. I know that's not 3 times, but from here on it does. So then we go to 60, then you go to 180, then you go to 540. Just because of this version of Crapsy that we're using, the max bet is 500. So we're going to go 10, 20, 60, 180, 540. Well, 500, sorry. So there are actually only 5 levels that we can go to on the system. So if you get a lot of points being hit, we're going to be in a bit of trouble. So let's just get started and see how we get on today. Generally have to start by saying martingaling is not a great thing to do. You play a martingale system for long enough, generally you're going to lose all your money because you're going to get one of those runs where you do get a lot of numbers, a lot of points being hit. For instance, in this one, you get 6 points hit and we're in trouble. But I'm playing for fake money. It's a fun strategy to try. There's a 7. We haven't had to use it yet. And it's just something good to see, something to test out, give a go. But probably not something I would play at the casino unless I had a lot of spare money lying around. Okay, well, it's been good so far. I haven't had to use it at all. Made a couple dollars, 20 bucks. Time to go home. Paid for a meal. Although not a big meal. And really, ideally, what we want to see here is we want to see the point on these outside numbers. You know, if it's on a 4 or a 10, they're less likely to come. Whereas if it's on the 6 and the 8, there's a higher chance that those are going to hit. So seeing the points out here, that is good for us, as there are less combinations. But of course, we do want to lose a couple times so we can see the strategy in play, how it works. There we go. So now we got to 20. So the reason why we don't 3 times first go is because we'll still be making a little bit of profit by going to 20. We lost 10, so we play 20, we'll make 20, so we'll still be making $10 profit by going to 20. It's then past this point where you have to 3 times, because if I just went to 40 from here, you'd be betting 40 to win $10 each time, whereas by going to 60, you're betting $60 to win $30. So as it goes higher, that little bit of profit that you're making goes up. So to be honest, you do want to get 2 or 3 rolls in because you're actually making a little bit more money. It's a bit of a double-edged sword. Cool, so we won. So what happens is once you win, you go back to the start. So no matter what level we're at, once you win, you go back to the start. As I was saying, you're a bit of a double-edged sword because the higher you are up in the system, the more money you're going to make. But obviously, the more you have on the line to lose. So it's a very sweaty system if you've got some money on the line here. So yeah, ideal situation, it's out of the 10. And we just want to see that 7 come. Obviously, if there's a lot of 0.7s, then you're not going to make a massive amount of money starting at $10. If you go through 10 shooters, you're going to make $100, which is good. But obviously not a lot of money. There's the 10, so we lose that one, so we go up to 20. Out on the 6, so there's more chance of the point hitting than it was when it was on the 10. So there's a better chance that we have to go to the next level. But let's see what happens. And not too worried about it going up one more level. We make a little bit more money that way. And as you can see here, we're through. We're on our 4th shooter now. We haven't lost any money. We haven't made any money. So it's not necessarily a profitable system. Although if we were to win now, we would be up $40. There's the 7, as you can see. A total of 40. Bring that down. Back to 10. So in the rack, we've got $30. And you can play this at any level you want. You can start at 10, you can start at 20, you can start at 50, you can start at 100. Just be aware of your table limits. Obviously, this one has quite a low max bet, so we get to that limit fairly quickly. So there, the point hits, so we go up. As I said, we've only got 5 bullets on this one. You would want to have more, but it does escalate quickly. As I said, the 5th bullet is $540. We can only do 500. If that one loses, you're over $1,000 betting. So yeah, you'd want a pretty large bankroll if you were to be playing at this level. But so far we haven't gone past the first level of Martingale, which is good for us in terms of what we're making. Not great in terms of showing off the strategy, but if you want to see it really in action, if you go look at my video where I 3 times Martingale the field, because I got up to the higher limits a bit more on that one, so that will give you a good example of how it looks. Okay, we're on the 6. It's a hard 4. There's another 7, another $10 for us. So as you can see here, we're on to shoot number 7. We've got $70 in the rack, so not a terrible day out for betting $10 at a time. Most we've bet is $20 at a time, so we haven't had a lot at risk. If you were coming out with a $500 bankroll, so far so good. And that's another thing you can look at doing, is you can 3 times Martingale and say just 3 levels. There's the point hit, so we're going up. So you could do the 10, the 20, and the 60. And then if you were to lose the 60, just reset and take the losses. Or depending on your bankroll, you could stick at 60 if you've got $500-600 to play with. You know, often you say you want about 10 times your bet. So obviously 10 times 60 is 600. Cool, another hit. So first time we're going up to the next level, level 3. So we've got 60 out there now. Oh, and there is one of the downsides, we haven't come across that yet, is when the puck is off, a 7 comes, you lose on the don't pass, which means we're now up to 180. So very quickly, we are getting through these bullets. We've only got 1 bullet left, and we can't actually even do the max bullets. So and there's been many situations where I've seen the 7 with the puck off has rolled 3, 4 times in a row. So, and now we've got a point on the 6, which is a fairly common number to hit. So it's getting risky now. We would love to see another 7 now to ease our mind. And also we'd lock in a decent bit of present. There we go. Best situation for us there. So as you can see now, because we got up to that 4th level, we've now got $170 in the bank. So through 8 shooters, or we're on the 8th shooter rather, through 7 shooters, up $170. There's another loser for us, 170. Sorry, 11, not 170. And let's go again. So yeah, that last roll was a good example of how the system works. That was nice. So we were feeling quite comfortable just chipping away, making $10, $20 at a time, and then all of a sudden we're up to our second to last bullet. So that can happen quite quickly. You know, you roll a 7, you roll an 11. When the puck is off, you roll a 7, you roll an 11. Then a 6 comes on the point, you hit another 6 all of a sudden. You're right up there. But it's worked out pretty well for us so far. We're up in the rack, we've got $140. And this is a situation where you don't have to go through 10 shooters. We go through 10 shooters just to show the system off. You can see the good and the bad when you go through about 10 shooters or so. Generally, you'll get a decent roll in there and a couple of short rolls. So, but in real life, I might say, well, after that 180 came down, that would probably be where I'd call it and say, okay, we got a little close to our maximum there. Let's not push our luck. Then let's walk away with some profit. So we're level 3 again. It's bar 12, which means it's a push. So we don't win, we don't lose on a 12 there. And on the 5. Four, two, 6. Decent roll here by this shooter up to number 13. There's the 7. And let's go again. Out of the 5 again, third time out of the 5. And obviously this is a dark side bet. So the dark side is you're hoping for 7s to come. Light side bet is you want numbers to come. So you can do this on the pass line as well. Odds are slightly worse on the pass line because you hit a 5, you want the 5 to hit again. You know, if the puck comes out on the 4 or 10, you're less likely for that to happen. 7's the most common number. That's why the don't pass has slightly better odds than the pass line. But you can do it on the pass line. You can do it on the field like I was doing before. You can do it on the come, the don't come. There's lots of options to Martingale. Most of them are not a good idea. There's the 7. Okay, we're on to our last shooter now. Looking pretty good, up a couple $100. Lost that one. As you can see, you can obviously lose this all. We're up $200 at the moment, but if we were to get up to that final level, as you can see, I went to 10, that should have been 20. So what we'll do is we'll jump to 60 because that should have been 20 there, so I missed a step. Saved myself $10. But all of a sudden that money is disappearing, you know. Doesn't take much. But because we're 3 timesing it, when we do end up winning, we are making money on top. We're not just getting back to even again. We're making a little bit of money. This time, because I did 2 10s, we're making $40 if a 7 was to come now. That's why we're doing the 3 times rather than just the regular Martingale. Much riskier as your bets get up higher much quicker. And you could modify this. It doesn't have to be 3 times. You could double it and then add a little bit on when you go up to those higher levels. So let's just say this one lost. Instead of going to 180, you can go to 120, you go to 150, then you would be making a little bit of money. It's just what your appetite for risk is and how much of a bankroll you have. Okay, we want the 7 to come now. Let's call it a day at 7. That'd be nice. Make a couple $100. There's the 6. We're up to 180 now. And this just shows how quickly those profits can disappear. So in the rack now we are below our starting stack, below 50. That's good for us, the 4, because there's less combinations of 4. 7 is much more likely to come out than the 4, although here we're showing the 4's actually come out only once less. So in this session, it's actually been quite a popular number. Let's see, we get up here in the rolls now. Let's see if we can get that 7. Come away with a good little profit. Hard 8, it's 2 4s. Repeater 8. And there's a 7. Lovely. Okay, so we're through 10 shooters. Bring this bet down. As you can see, we've made $310. So not a bad day for us. You can see, I think we showed off quite well. We didn't get up to that final level, which was lucky for us. A couple of times we were one away from that, but it does show how quickly you can get up there in terms of dollar values. You could always play this on bubble craps, I suppose. Start at $1. Then it's not so much. When you get to that 500 point, it'd be $50 instead. So it'd be $54. Then you 3 times that one, you're up to, then you're in the 150s or so at that point. So that's when it starts to get scary, when you get to that 6th bullet, but obviously gives you a little bit more time. So thanks for watching, guys. That was the 3 times Martingale, the don't pass. Just to go through it again, you start at $10. If that loses, up to 20. So not a 3 time at first, but you're still making profit by going to 20. You're making $10. Then from here on, you 3 times it. So 20 goes to 60. 60 goes to 180. 180 ideally would go to 540. We can't do that on craps here because our max bet here is 500. But we'd go to 500. We'd still be making profit by going to 500. So on and so forth. Not a good system. Very scary system. Fun to play when you've got nothing on the line, though. Yeah, don't give it a go with real money unless you are very much prepared to lose it all. So as I was saying, thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you on the next one. Catch you later.